Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Avowed with me, BringItDon. Let's continue exploring Solace Keep.
Mihala understands the importance of tradition. Nandru chose this place for a reason, huh?
Exactly. To leave would only insult the great founder.
Generations of our kin have lived and died within these halls. We can't disappoint them.
As long as we lend our strength to Mihala, we won't.
Mihala is to blame. We need to open our gates to the world, lest it leave us behind. Absolutely. Can you imagine if we had access to fresh crops from Fjord? Or all of the goods that pass through Paradise? No, I can't. Not with Mihala calling the shots. Then perhaps it's time for a change around here.
This agreement's close at hand. A Petru's key, or Petru's key. A small metal key made to open one of the simple locks on a basalt quarter apartment. I feel like I'm hearing more than one chime.
Crown, an outsider here?
His eye.
I'll have to bring this to the council's attention.
Does kind of suck. After getting used to the attack animation of the mace, the lodestone.
No, I couldn't possibly. It's too precious. Safe. In the drawer.
Now that I have the two-handed hammer, I just don't have as much impact. Like, the attack animation for the lodestone was so satisfying with the AoE stun. Unfinished poetry. These tastefully scrawled words form the beginning of a poem that was never finished. What would I do for you, my son? There's quite a list, far more than one. I would travel to the garden for you. I need a bowl of Solace stew. I'd rather play with you instead of handling the wares of the honored dead. I'd split apart the greystone sky and give you a look at the world outside. But for now, all I can do is... Diary entry. We mustn't. I gasp, pushing her away from me as our lips part. It isn't right. Helvetica is upon us, my heart, she sobs, reaching up to cart her fingers through my hair. We must seize happiness where we can. I gaze into her eyes, limpid pools of tears, and take her in as she stands before me. Her hair, tousled from our strenuous activities, falls gracefully over her shoulder in waves more beautiful than any ocean. Mihala, I whisper her name like a prayer. She surges forward, our tongues battling for dominance. It goes on like this for pages. It's pretty crazy that our Great Hammer doesn't have the same impact as the mace does. An old hammer. A well-loved old hammer. Someone must be looking for this.
Why has it grown so quiet?
I'd like to be left alone with my mother. So you're the outsiders my guards let into the keep. Sucker. Now I'm going to have to deal with Kazmin. And you're accompanied by a deserter.
There's the Joffrey I know. Still calling your parents by their first names.
Yes, I am. Every time I visit them. You should try it sometime. If you've a complaint, can it wait? I'm already dealing with enough.
What's got you so frazzled?
Ha! You're an outsider, and outsiders aren't allowed in Solace Keep. You lot are the only kith around who aren't dwarves. Or hadn't you noticed? And now one of my wardens has let you in. Mihala is going to ream me for this.
Is it really that bad?
Gods, yes. The wardens take an oath to protect the keep. That includes outside influences. Not that you'd know, but the council isn't known for their temperance. None of this is even my job. Not really, anyway. Mihala ordered me to take over for our Captain Petru until he comes back, but it's been weeks and no one's heard anything.
What happened to him?
If I knew, I wouldn't be talking to you, Nimdut. Mihala said it was council business, but there's nothing in his office. No journal, nothing. One of my wardens, Mina, is convinced something happened to him, but I don't have the time or resources to spare.
What kind of something?
Wish I knew. Mina's been distraught ever since Petru disappeared, so I've relieved her of her duties. I can't have one of my wardens like this, drunk and useless. She's likely over in the bar, drowning her sorrows. If there's anything to know about Petru, she'd know it.
Petru. Didn't we meet him in Fjord? Odd for the captain of the guard to disappear like that. Let's look into this.
He was the guy watching the merchant.
Make it quick, Adiren.
Never mind. Mina! Mina?
Damn. Outsiders in the keep? Joffrey really must be shit at commanding the wardens if you got in. Marius? You're back? God's alive. I never thought I'd see you again.
Mina, is that you? Didn't recognize you with all that whiskey smell around you.
The whiskey helps me sleep. I've been working extra shifts without Petru here. Things would be a lot better if he was still in charge.
Joffrey's not too happy he left either.
Left? That what he told you? Sucker. Our captain didn't just up and disappear without warning. Something must have happened to him.
What makes you think that?
It's law in the keep that we don't ever leave Solace. Ever. Not unless we're on assignment at an outpost. Your friend Marius here is an example as to what happens if we do. Some people don't like that. Petru... he skirted the rules. Has some project out there, at that abandoned warden tower. He usually goes out for a day or two, but always comes back. It's been weeks now, and nothing. I figure something must have happened to him. Who knows what's out there? Attacked by Zarips, killed in a lava flow.
Why haven't you told anyone?
I have. I begged Joffrey to go after him, but he won't spare the wardens. Gave me a week to cool off, as he put it. So, here I am. Look, I know it's not your business, but you're the only one who can go in and out of the keep. If you happen to go by the abandoned warden tower, just to the northwest of Solace, keep an eye out for him, all right? Even a clue as to where he is would help. Maybe I'd be able to convince Joffrey to send someone after him.
I'll do what I can.
Never thought I'd see an outsider do more for me than my own people. Thanks, Adiren.
Sometimes people just leave. He's probably drunk somewhere feeling bad about it.
That's it. I'm cutting you off, mate.
Hey, you heard anything about Petru?
Sorry, not yet.
All right. Just let me know, yeah?
All right. Been up that side. Did I check out? Aha.
I hope the expedition to the Slumbering Fields is doing all right. Shouldn't they have returned by now?
Expedition? What are you talking about? Did I miss something?
You haven't heard? Some wardens were sent to investigate the problems with the aqueducts.
Ah, no, I haven't. May the golem grant them safe passage and a swift return.
Let's wonder if there's a plant on top of the statue I can't see.
Yeah.
There is.
Either the rigging is coming loose upstairs, or that's a godlike, same as our envoy.
Your rigging came loose long ago, Nimdut. That's Nandru, founder of Solace. Don't speak ill of him if you value your life.
If I were gonna have a drink with one of the gods...
Ah, the outsiders. Welcome.
Forge Master's orders. This notice is written in intense, angry handwriting on a piece of smudged, charred parchment. All who serve in the Forge. I understand you think I'm unworthy of this position, but by decree of the Council of Solace and our hallowed traditions, I am your Forge Master. You shall all treat me as such. For example, no more leaving stations unkempt. No more sloughing ash in my direction. No more stealing of my rations. No more using the forge fires to cook meat. No more hilarious effigies. No more use of the term Gorge Master to refer to my eating habits. No more flicking slag at me and then acting like you did nothing. Tuli, I know it was you. No more swapping my quenching oil out for deadly acid. No more patting me on the head instead of saying, "Yes, Forge Master?" Oh, no, that's not a question. Yes, Forge Master. I expect these guidelines to be followed to the letter, lest the Commandant hear my complaint herself. Forge Master Dela. It's gotta be smoldering down here. Yeah, I mean, that's lava right there. It looks miserable. And they're in armor? I'd at least have my Forge Master shirtless.
Ah, I hope you don't mind if I shout a bit. I feel like it's impossible to hear anything over all this banging and quenching. Indeed, when they came down to tell us that we had outsiders about, I swore I misheard. I probably should have cleaned up the place.
Having trouble being heard.
Indeed. Some of it is all the noise, but some of it is that I'm new to this job. Hazing is what it is. I am Forge Master Dela. Recently appointed, I should add. Old Master Tassa passed away, and the council appointed me.
Master Tassa died? I figured that old lady would live forever.
So did I. Turns out death comes for us all. Surprised me, too.
Someone volunteered you for the position, I take it.
I assume so. Maybe Tassa did it herself. I know I wouldn't have put my own name on the list.
If you're that unhappy, why don't you step down as Forge Master?
You don't just wave off being appointed by the council. Not if you ever hope for a good transfer in the future. Besides, any of these other Komai would just buckle the whole operation. At least I know what I'm doing. You came down here for a reason. What can I do for you?
Looks like you take your inspiration from that shrine to Abaddon.
I know. A shrine to Abidon in a forge. How unique. What can I do for you?
Where do you get your materials?
We have mines throughout the tasks, though most of them were abandoned until very recently. Most of our material comes from reforging old equipment. Someone dies or retires and we make something new from their stuff.
It's a fine tradition, if you don't mind going on patrol in your dead uncle's old pants.
Mock all you like, outcast. This way has worked for centuries.
Why were your mines abandoned?
Like most things around Solace, they got too costly and dangerous to maintain. The Council thought it best to close them down. Council Okostia has argued to get some of them open again. We might be getting some new ores sometime soon.
Show him the star medal. The stockkeeper Eberk told me you could make something special for me with this.
Did he now? And what exactly is... Abidon's shiny beard? That's star metal! These days I work more with a quill than a hammer, but I think I can make an exception for this. And if the council doesn't like it, they can make someone else Forge Master. Oh, I'd be a happy man to be working the forge again. Oh, how I miss it!
So what can you do with it?
The question you should be asking is what can't I do with it? I could refine and sharpen the material into a sword, certainly. A simple enough ask once you know the secrets of star metal. Alternatively, there's something I've wanted to make since the last time I had my hands on this stuff. A star metal arquebus. Now that sounds like a proper challenge.
I don't use swords, so an arquebus sounds perfect.
May Abidon guide my hand, and this trial be worthy of Magrin's attention.
This ought to be good.
Here it is. A firearm unlike any other. I call it the Moonstrike Arquebus, for it will strike your enemies as fiercely as Abidon's hammer struck the falling moon.
Well, I think it was his body that took the hit, but yeah. I see why you're the Forge Master. Thank you. This is an incredible weapon.
You are most welcome, outsider. However, this material is unlike any other metal. It is superior in nearly every way, and an unmatched challenge to work. I want to see what else I could do with it. Bring me more fragments, and I will forge for you a blade unlike any other. Though with more star metal, I may be able to upgrade the Moonstrike Arquebus a bit more.
Okay, give him the star medal. Let's see how you can further empower the arquebus.
Let's. I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time. Proper rifling for the barrel and a bit of weight balancing will do this arquebus wonders.
Can't wait to see how this turns out.
Here you are. A firearm unlike any other. Use it to rain death upon your foes for me, eh?
You've outdone yourself, Forge Master. I'll put it to good use.
I should hope so. Anything less would be an enormous waste of potential.
I have more star metal for you. So we have 3 pieces.
Blessed day. What would you like done?
You mentioned a sword. Show me what you can make.
Very good. This shouldn't take long. Let me show you why the council chose me to be master of this forge.
Now this, I have to see.
It is done. I call it the Meteor Blade. Never before has anything I've crafted held such a wicked edge.
Another masterwork. You've truly proven yourself, Forge Master.
Thank you for your kind words, outsider. I will take them to heart.
I'd like to see your wares. Faith and Conviction. Grant steep faith, slowly regenerate essence, and unwavering conviction. You and your companions receive plus 4% damage reduction. Being awarded with this armor is one of the greatest honors that a soldier of the Adirian Empire can receive. To even be considered for this, a soldier must have consistently shown unwavering faith in Woedica and boundless devotion to the Empire and all of its people. This is not enough. A recipient of this armor must also have proven themselves to be a strong leader, a peerless warrior, and willing to sacrifice everything in the name of a deer. How this esteemed plate made its way to Solace Keep is a mystery. Gauntlets of Devotion. Item bonus, minus 10% stamina cost while blocking, and Flames of Devotion, hits deal plus 5% bonus fire damage. Long ago, these gauntlets were worn by an Abaddon-worshipping warden paladin that dedicated her life to defending and preserving the numerous Park-Grunin edifices that dotted the face of Gallowayne's tusks. Her answer to most problems was simply to smite her enemies with holy fire, repeating as often as needed to make said problems go away. Her zeal lives on through these gauntlets, imbuing the wielder's own weapons with a small sliver of this fire. And that looks pretty cool. Now we got the Meteor Blade, grants Lamenting Flurry. Full combo attack gives a hit enemy minus 20% damage for 15 seconds. And Freezing Lash, hits deal plus 10% bonus frost damage. This elegant blade is perfectly balanced and beautifully engraved. You can feel the cold of the star metal seeping through the grip on the hilt. It is not uncomfortable, more of a constant reminder of the otherworldly nature of the material the sword is crafted from. And Heaven Strike grants Andra Scorn. Power attacks deal moderate frost accumulation to nearby enemies. And Freezing Lash, hits deal plus 10% bonus frost damage. This weapon was impressive indeed before Forgemaster Dela had a chance to further refine it. Now, however, it is a true masterpiece. The barrel of the arquebus has proper rifling, and it sits more naturally in your grip, thanks to an improved overall balance. The extra force with which the weapon fires is only made possible through this increased balance, otherwise the recoil would be too much for a mere kith to handle. Well, I guess we'll use this. Or, well, not gonna sell it.
You're back! What did you miss most? The, loud clanging or the grimy walls and floor? What can I do for you?
Alright. We've got... Oh, that is really cool. Alright, so we will wear that. And I guess we'll equip this.
Ready yourselves. Council's just up this lift.
Are they gonna throw us in the volcano if this goes bad?
Not ready to go up there yet.
Outsiders? In the halls Nandru built himself? Madness.
What?
The very image of Nandru indeed. The gods send you at the most opportune time. A word, please.
Look around first.
Raluca told me we have you to thank for getting the waters flowing once more. It's regrettable that the Delimgan is so territorial. Imagine what we could learn from the ruins she guards. but at least we will have water. Take this. Even with the Delamgan restricting our access, a working aqueduct is invaluable. Thank you again for your help. Perhaps whatever blessed Nandru truly does live in you.
Only 568 gold?
Imagine the chance to see godless engineering at work. It is a true marvel.
Jitule! What am I going to do?
I don't know.
Oh, good. Someone's come along. I can't believe the only person that stopped is an outsider. Will you help me, please?
Help with what?
Ugh, my hammer. One of the smiths down below sold it to me, and I'm not likely to get such a fine one again. But with all the construction going on here, still, I slipped and dropped it. I think it's somewhere down there. Do you think you can find it,
What is all this construction even for?
Honestly, I don't even remember. It all started when my grandfather was a baby. I think something about restoration.
Solace has been under constant construction since Nandru set the first stone.
It does not matter. Can you save my hammer or not?
Why can't you just buy a new hammer?
There isn't exactly a surplus of them around here. Especially not one that's held to the caliber of the ones in the smithy. Please! I can't afford a new one.
Here it is, safe and sound.
Ah! You have done me a great service, Amakul. Merty, envoy. May your kindness be repaid swiftly. I wonder if I can somehow strap this to my belt so I don't drop it again. Found a spider the size of my face in my quarters last night.
Again? Ugh. I bet the officers up above don't have to deal with that.
On the bright side, the legs are pretty good in a stew.
That is both gross and intriguing. What time is dinner?
Yeah. Alright, go in there in just a moment.
An outsider! I've never seen someone so tall.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal.
Time has shown that the arms and armor of Solace Keep are unmatched in quality anywhere else in the living lands.
Never heard a speech full of such bluster.
It's not the content, but the interpretation that bothers me.
Ah, well. The walls of Solace have never been brought down by words alone.
I think his words and his breath combined would be a greater threat.
Move along, outsider. Consultation hours are... Oh my.
You're staring at my face, aren't you?
Well, you must admit, it is striking.
What do scholars do in Solace?
We pass on the oral histories of Solace and seek to uncover those historical knowledge we have lost over time. In return, the unenlightened Jituli of Solace curse, spit, and throw objects at us. It is truly a symbiotic relationship.
Your philosophy seems controversial.
All philosophy is controversial here. Thoughts that do not challenge tradition might as well be tradition themselves.
What can you tell me about Nandru?
Ah, our beloved founder. Nandru sought to create a sanctuary in the deadliest part of the island. He called it Solace. Many believe Nandru was led here by a spirit guardian of some kind, Others believe he was simply an excellent judge of location. Regardless, many of his traditions remain in place to this day, while others may have fallen by the wayside.
What do your records say about the end of Nandru's life?
Well, that is a topic of much discussion. We know that in the end, Nandru sought peace and solitude. Some foolish souls say that Nandru traveled to the garden, and that he enjoys an afterlife of peace and bliss. Hogwash. I believe Nandru died alone, having found his silence at last. Nandru would never have considered bliss a true reward. Unfortunately, all we have is belief. Nandru's remains were never found, and no record exists of his passing.
How have Nandru's traditions changed?
If you ask these absolute Zarips, they'd say not at all. I maintain that our solace is more in Sorina's vision than Nandru's. Our founder envisioned a safe place for all who reside or explore in the Tusks. An admirable goal, certainly. Sorina's vision was more about safety for the people already within Solace. Outsiders be damned.
Serena is one of the most revered leaders in the history of Solace Keep. Serena oversaw the rebuilding of Solace after a devastating attack from outside raiders roughly a century after the founding of the Keep. To aid in recovery efforts, Serena instituted a broad charter of new traditions, to which the people of Solace adhere to this day. Who is Serena?
Ah, blessed Serena. She led Solace's rise from the ashes centuries ago, when an attack breached the walls and ruined our keep. She was a forceful and diligent leader who oversaw the rebuilding of the keep and established new traditions to keep us safe. Many, myself included, believe her traditions conflicted with Nandru's, which were more suited to a Solace in peacetime.
What kind of person was Nandru?
He was compassionate, eccentric, and charismatic. He knew how to draw out the best in his people. A true leader. Tradition says that when he knew his life was ending, he sought quiet solitude, knowing his work here was complete. Not a word of tradition, spoken or written, speaks ill of our founder. It is perhaps the only thing on which we all agree.
Do you know anything about a garden?
If you ask about the tilled ground made for growing plants, no. Very few here have that knowledge. But Nandru did speak of a garden from time to time. He created the Wardens of Solace to oversee that garden specifically. No one can say for sure what the garden meant to him, for none has set foot there. I fear I cannot help you beyond that.
Interesting. Let's move on.
What more can I do to enlighten you?
Nothing at the moment. Goodbye. That's what I hit the first time. Saw the numbers pop up.
Wodica, huh? Guess the Pargrunen have that in common with that here.
Nandru looked to Wodica for inspiration when he created the traditions and laws of Solace.
But why? Makes me a little suspicious.
You must be the outsider I've heard so much about, yes? I am pleased to meet you.
Bolty? Is that you?
Marius?
Won't the Commandant be surprised? What can I do for Solace's most fascinating guests?
What is your role here exactly?
I am an attendant of the Council of Solace. I do whatever they ask of me, frankly. Currently, it is my honor to watch over the Shrine of Wodeka and keep it as pristine as the goddess herself.
You mean it's your honor to stay where the Council can keep an eye on you?
I have to know what that's about.
The way I heard it, Bolty had a reputation for taking things from the armory and selling them to traders for a profit.
I paid my debt to Solace. I have changed.
Yeah, well, the Council is keeping you close by, just in case you haven't.
I'll just be going now.
Good to see you again. How can I help?
Show me your wares. Andra Bond. A treasure map. The blade that hungers. Ever since I found that dark blade, I felt hungers that no food or drink can satisfy. Almost as if it longs to plunge into soft tissue and slash across vulnerable throats. Rather than continue to fight off its influence, I bury the dagger before it buries me. Okay.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Petro around in a while. Wonder what he's been up to.
Nothing good, most likely. No one's heard anything. Joffrey had to take over as captain.
Joffrey. Ha! That Nimdut. Why in Magren's name would anybody put him in charge?
Something must have happened to Petru. The council is keeping quiet. Think he joined the outcasts?
Petro? Join the outcasts? Ah, there's no way.
Head back to this side real quick. We'll finish exploring out here, and we'll go see the council next time. But we've got some stuff to grab and read. A drafted letter. This letter is clearly a draft. Words are crossed out and there are notes in the margins. To the honored Council of Solace. I made my feelings on this topic known repeatedly, and yet nothing of substance has been done. It should be no surprise to you that many of us in the Obsidian Corner have issues with the way certain policies have been enacted. I, for one, have left my boots out to be shined on several occasions, only to awaken to a pair of still-scuffed boots. Such dereliction of duty cannot be accepted. Imagine if, should Margaret will it, enemies attacked from outside, and no one was standing at the front gates. This is the slipperiest of slopes, and I, for one, will not allow this keep to diminish in this way. I explained to the miscreants in charge that I would be speaking with their commanding officer, but it was to no avail. My boots shall one day shine like the sun. Tradition must hold. Yours truly, Akatanet Karen. Yeah, the Karen name was no accident. Oh, someone's been back here casting magic, practicing magic. A wannabe wizard. I haven't found a pile of skates in a while.
Oh, I do hope no one sees me like this. Oh, who let you in here? What do you want?
Are you hiding out here?
No, of course not. Who am I kidding? I must live, no, suffer in squalor now. Unfortunately, none of the merchants in the keep have things that live up to my tastes. But as long as Mihala continues to shun the rest of the lands, we must make do with an ever-shrinking supply of true goods.
Well, there was a trade caravan on its way here.
Right. You might not want to get your hopes up on that one.
No one suffers as I do. Just leave me. Oh, and don't get anything dirty on your way out. Who let you in here? What do you want?
Why are you up here?
Why am I in my own home? I think a better question is, why are you here? I must live, no, suffer in school. Unfortunately, none of the merchants, but as long as Mihala continues to shun...
Are you too good for everything being sold in Solace?
All the shops only have cheap goods. I deserve better than that. Just leave me. Oh.
Alright, let's talk in circles. We're done with that. Geronimo! Oh. Well, that's alright. Alright, well, I'm going to call it here, and next time we'll go see the council. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next one.